Good morning, good evening, good night. Welcome to NFT Live on the Web3 Network. Another day, Tuesday, March 26th. We're turning up. We got some awesome creators. Everybody's wearing black. I don't know what funeral we're headed to, but we are getting after it here today. Appreciate y'all showing up here early. Christian Jensen, Dubious, Easy and Crypto, Prodigy in the MF house. What's up, sir? What's up? All right, we have the full cast, I believe, showing up here. We're waiting on Huda. Huda is incoming imminently. I have Biggie Poppins, DP, and Gifted. Biggie, do we have your audio?
Yes, you do. I was muted.
Okay. What's up, dude?
Not much, brother. Let's see when this wizard pops up. It's always at the right time. You'll see. He'll pop up and butter our backs, whatever it is we're talking about.
He's definitely gonna FUD on ETH NFTs, that's for sure. DP, what's good?
Man, not a thing, man. Got some tales from Rake for y'all today. A new segment that I'm launching about my raked adventures. I got raked over the weekend. I'll tell you about it later on in the show.
I want that early, sir. I want
okay,
that
we can
real
do it.
early.
We can hop right into it. Well, after the introduction.
Yeah, man. What's up, Gif?
Yo, what's up? I'm here trying to share it out, trying to be a good citizen here on the Web3 network. That's what it's all about, y'all. Sharing is caring, and we couldn't do it without y'all. So again, those of you who do take those extra steps, help get the show out, share it with more people, give it a thumbs up, and do all those little things that don't take any time, don't cost anything, but you do it anyway out of the goodness of your heart. Y'all are the fucking goats.
All right, this is not financial advice. We're not financial advisors. We're just talking about cool shit on the internet. I almost said DYOR. Do your own research. I just want to spell that out just in case the feds that are watching don't understand that point. All right, we're gonna get into the episode real quick. Again, we have Huda coming in imminently, coming in red hot like his beard. But DP, you were teasing us a little bit there with a story of getting wrecked here, which, we all have. Every month there's something. But what do you got over the weekend, man?
All right, so over the weekend, I decided to do some DJing with a few other DJs on bass. This is on bass, and so no, I take that back. Was it on bass or was it on foot? No, it was Solana. It was Solana. Yeah, no, it was Solana. I was DJing and using Photon, right? And so for those that don't know, Photon is like a trading bot on Solana. And so, I went into a coin that people called out. It was a meme token, of course. Made a few gains. And got my initials in my little 50% that I made. And went on my happy way. And so I got greedy. And I was looking at the front page of Photon, and I'm like, let me try to jump into one of these coins that are on the front page is just skyrocketing it up right now. And I promise you, I plan on only being there for no longer than maybe 2 minutes, just to give me a little, just to take a little bit more off the top. I jumped into the fucking coin. I lost 99% in 30 secones. It was a honey pot. They went ahead and pulled the rug. So look, it was going from like total. So the value was going from like, I think it was at like 83,000. It went from 83,000. Then it went to like 90,000. And as soon as I jumped in, it went from 90,000 to 70,000 to $123 to $14. GG. Thanks for playing.
No re.
We'll see you next time. Look. Man, listen. I didn't even say bye in the chat. I just logged the fuck off. I just logged off.
As you should. That is the right thing to do.
Fuck off.
That when you get rugged like that and you're in the Telegram, I know you want to stay in there and be like, what the hell is the dev doing? Like, just leave. Just cut your ties.
It doesn't. Yeah, I was too embarrassed
to even say I did it because I knew better. It was really some renegade shit that I was doing. Like I knew better, but people. Take this as a lesson of why you have to be careful getting involved in this type of shit. Now, luckily, I didn't lose that much to my standards because it was really just some throwaway bags that I was playing with. But
that's good.
Let that be a lesson, people. Learn from me early.
So
like,
you
don't
so
just
you
be
at
hopping
least
in these shit.
Yeah, so you at least managed your size and your risk
Oh,
going
yeah,
into
most
it.
definitely.
But look, here's the bigger point that I take away from it. And that's and I also know this from very painful personal experience from the last bull run. There's so many different opportunities that it's not that hard to like make a bag here and there. But keeping it is incredibly hard because you make a good, you take some risk, it works out. You start to think like, oh, I'm on one. I'm fucking feeling it. I got the touch of, God is on my side.
Peter.
You get greedy. You start just like, oh yeah, I'll take this, I'll take that. And then before you know it, you've given up all those gains that you just fucking made. And that is actually surprisingly common. Like people will fucking, that's what round tripping is. That's why it's a whole saying. People will make fucking moon bags and then they'll get greedy and they think like, oh, if I just spin it into one more, then I'm a multimillionaire. And that mentality is what you just lose it all over again. And you're back where you started.
Any takes here, Biggie Poppins?
Dude, I'm just thinking about the hat I round trip recently. Didn't round trip it. I got it for free, but same kind of thing, psyoping myself, right? It's like, oh man, this is the artist from Rubber and it's gonna be special and the fucking NFT is gonna mean something and the token's just the cherry on top. And 2 opportunities to cash out at 10 ETH, but I settled for 5 because I fucked around and find out. But that's how it is, it is what it is.
Always leave the moon baggy, dude, is what I'm starting to. You always heard it, and I implemented it here or there. Like you take your initial out and you let the rest run. But like I think it's a hard and fast rule for me now. Like I can't not leave a little moon baggy.
That is a tough one too, because like a lot of times you just have to understand the things that you do get early in that do end up being winners to you. There's usually a reason why, because those are the ones that have a little bit of life in them. And so they have some potential to take off. And so leaving a little bit in it still, it can pay off, but it's a tough one to do properly. But I can hear it like in my head, the soundtrack. Whenever I have like a big win and I take a big risk and I get a big win, it's like I feel like fucking Yeezus in my head is like, I am a god. I am a god. It's like you just start hearing that shit.
All right, I'm gonna bring up some of the just broader crypto stuff in markets. It looks okay today. There was a brief pullback. It felt like just right before we went live, but feels green today overall. There was this big announcement from Base. We've been covering Base. This happened like 5 minutes ago. Today, I'm excited to show off something fun we've been working on lately, Base Migrate. The Base migration tool is a game changer for projects looking to migrate their ERC20 tokens to Base. Say goodbye to manual processes and hello to seamless transition. Our tool automates critical steps in the migration process, deployment of a canonical bridge for ERC20s to Base. Big news, small news.
I wonder if Aavegotchi can use this.
I feel like Aavegotchi loves to make their own tools, but this feels like easy tool. I
think they are using this. I've seen them bull posting about Ghost again, which means like, yeah, they're moving to Base. I'm sure this is basically what they're doing. And I would not be surprised to see a lot of people do this. So I do think it's a big deal just to understand that like this type of infrastructure and tooling provides a utility or a function that a lot of projects might really want, and more people, more liquidity, more communities will start to adopt a Base.
All right, I want to talk about Base here a little bit more. Kane Warwick also posting about Base. Maybe you have some inkling as to what he's talking about here. Biggie Poppins with Synthetics Andromeda apparently being on Base. I didn't know he was building out Synthetics infra over there on Base, but I want to get involved in that. But before we go on, we started the day very weird. It was like 4 a.m. on the East Coast. What the hell is going on here?
Man, listen, I woke up to that shit. I have no idea. A ship.
Have you not seen this, Biggie?
No,
dude, I hadn't seen this.
Go ahead, DP.
Wow.
Yeah, ship crashed into the Baltimore Bridge, man, and the whole thing collapsed. And I think they said it was about a dozen cars on the bridge.
Oh,
I thought we had seen this. I thought it was gonna be more like, hey, this is it's tough, man. I mean, why does a ship crash into a bridge like
Yo,
that. I have never seen
man.
that. Somebody
I
was
mean,
saying cyber
the
attacks.
the captain was probably asleep or drunk. Maybe it was a cyber attack. That's an interesting theory. Could be. I'm sure we'll learn more soon. That's crazy. But the thing that it immediately makes me sad about is that it makes me think about our infrastructure, like in general. No, like our infrastructure is so out of date. Like we have so much bad infrastructure in the US, stuff that was built in like the early 1900s, you know, and we just have not invested in our infrastructure at all. So I wouldn't be surprised to see more of this type of shit. You know, these big things that have been around for 100+ years that can't stand, you know, the weathering of the storm, or something happens, you know, and they fucking collapse.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised to see more. That's fucking horrifying, though.
Press your luck saying ship might have lost power. BT saying new fear unlocked.
Damn.
Yeah, man.
There was
Condolences to anybody that may have lost their lives in that collapse.
Yeah, I don't think we got the official wording. I know they were saying there was cars on the bridge and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And this is why you sleep in.
Jeez. Yeah, we'll get the I guess the recap there on what actually happened. That is a new fear, though. I mean, like I've never really had the fear of bridges, other than there was one bridge when I lived in New Orleans.
A fucking giant
that was
container
one
ship like coming your way, and you should be fine. You know, like
yes, if you see it close by.
I never thought about looking both ways when crossing a bridge. Now I will.
Now you do.
Yeah,
now you do.
You know, I think the more disturbing thing to people is that, I guess, from us looking at it and not being experts on bridge construction, you would think that a crash like that wouldn't cause the entire fucking bridge to collapse.
Yeah, that was what was impressive to me as well.
Rotting infrastructure, man.
So Andy saying they lost control of the ship. They called it once they realized they no longer had control, and the bridge was proactively blocked off to prevent traffic. I don't know how. I'm pretty sure there was still traffic on the bridge. That's what I heard. But anyways,
well, it was probably the police officer.
Another one, like, you know.
Yeah.
It was probably like police officers and people that were blocking off the bridge and keeping other people off it. They didn't think it would collapse either, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And that's sad.
All right,
man.
so some more crypto related stuff. The CFTC calling ETH a commodity here, but this is related, which is, I believe, a good thing, right? Like we want it to be labeled a commodity, not a security.
Kucoin's not the Kucoin situation is probably not a good thing, but maybe this is a silver lining.
Yeah, so I'll break down the Kucoin piece too. Let me see if I can. Get to that article. But you can see here, CFTC in the complaint is calling ETH a commodity. We saw a bunch of, ETF FUD and basically ETH FUD from the U.S. government here in the U.S. regulatory stuff. But yeah, U.S. charges Kucoin crypto exchange with anti-money laundering failures. So I believe Kucoin is out of Korea, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. So Reuters saying federal prosecutors in Manhattan on Tuesday charged Kucoin, one of the world's largest cryptocurrency exchanges, with violating U.S. anti-money, so AMLs, by failing to vet customers, allowing billions of dollars in illicit funds to be transferred since its founding in 2017. All right, any thoughts here?
I was based out of Seychelles. Look.
It seems kind of similar to like the Binance situation, isn't it? Like they went after them for some kind of fraudulent money laundering situations, right? Like just not KYCing everything properly or allowing certain funds to go through their marketplace.
Yeah. It also looks like the exchange founders are actually Chinese here. They remain at large according to prosecutors, so they're looking to actually bring them in on these charges.
It'll probably just be a slap on the wrist, though. I'm ready to say that this shit is probably gonna be an ongoing thing for the next 10 years now. Like I just don't really see them getting any handle on any of these exchanges or any of these regulations or anything else. I just think it's just gonna be an on and off thing that we constantly see pop up every 6 to 7 months. Somebody's gonna have some new complaint or something like that, especially as currency now becomes more, I guess, the way that we deal with each other becomes more international now, which Web3 has opened it up to us. Like, we we're buying on exchanges from that's based in Korea or Seychelles or in China or in Africa or this North Africa, South Africa. It doesn't matter. And they're trying their hardest to chase all of this shit down, but they aren't gonna be able to get a full handle on it.
Yeah, this is like financial jurisdictional politics at work, right now, like political warfare. Having said that, I don't think either that they'll be able to get a clamp down on it. And it's the only thing though, D, is that at some point I do think a country will demonstrably show how beneficial this new financial infrastructure can be to leveling up your not just your financial infrastructure, but if embraced by your people, can be very good. And I think when that happens, there will be clear winners, for doing so, for being early, and it will lead to like some type of domino effect of more people opening up the gates. It's just unfortunate that like in the places and the regions where this was birthed, or maybe where most people are actively embracing this, you have to deal with this nonsense, because it really does stifle innovation. And that's the part that really annoys me. Maybe it enables a little bit of creativity too, but all in all, it's stifling possibilities.
It's definitely a different time, to DP's point. Like there's a time in crypto when this would send the markets reeling, right? Like 10-20% down off these pieces of news. I feel like the market just keeps on rolling. But yeah, Biggie, it does like add a little bit of a thorn in the side of like us having a nice little bull market here. Is like the regulators.
We have some big boys on our side, right? Like BlackRock and other stuff. So slowly but surely, as they say.
That's fair. And then all at once. All right. Kane is bull posting on base. Kane was one of the stars of DeFi summer with Synthetics, and Synthetics is still, I believe, active. I need to check their TVL, but I know they're still a big player on the DeFi side. Kane is sitting here saying Synthetics Andromeda on base is going to flip V2X on Optimism in the next week in daily volume. What is he saying there? Basically, and again, I'm not as familiar with Synthetics and everything they've got going on.
But I was just playing in Quenta, I think. Can you open that up?
Yeah. 38 million daily volume is a new PR. We still have like a 10 million market cap. Y'all are base. Okay. There might be some alfalfa here.
Hell yeah. 50x leverage. Nice.
That's what I like. Give me all of it. All right, hold on.
The degen mating call, dude.
What is the Quenta token? I need to. Okay, here we go. It's on Optimism. There is one on. You will only
get it Q once you lose your ass playing with leverage. There, like enough.
Right. Right.
You'll be rewarded with Quenta.
So usually you have the multi-token approach. You can see here, most of them are on Optimism. It looks like there was one created 13 days ago over on Base that is holding basically the same price. Of course, there's some arbitrage between both chains, but let's take a look here. Oh shit, 46K market cap. No, this can't be right. 16 holders
on Base right now, right? Like look, because it's omni chain. I could see that there's also go back to the main page.
But the market cap should be the same, no?
Hold on. Maybe this is just like value, like measuring by value locked in Base only.
All right, we'll go to liquidity sitting at 1.3 million. This is going to give us a better look.
That's on Optimism.
45 million. Okay, that's weird that it's. I mean, yeah, I guess the tokenomics or the what's the word I'm looking for there?
More than anything, probably is maybe not picking it up, or if it's fragmented in different chains, that'll make it more difficult to get.
Yeah, Prime should do that as well, right? Because there's Prime token on Base. Let's check this out really quick and see if that is in fact the case. So yeah, so you can see market cap here, because the lower amount of tokens is on the chain. It actually picks up a lower market cap So yeah, good catch there, Biggie Poppins. 45 mil though on Optimism currently. It really hasn't bounced all that much. This is a 2-hour chart. Let's zoom out to maybe like a 3-day. I mean, yeah, it has bounced off. Looks like February lows, but not that much. I mean, it's not even a 2x from February lows. This might be one to check out. You said you were messing with Quenta?
No, I mistook it for something else.
Okay.
For a second there, I got excited and I thought it was another one I was playing with on Say, but that was Kawa Finance.
Oh, Kawa Finance.
yeah. This is Quenta, totally different.
So this is Synthetics V3. This is activity, it looks like, volume. And you can see the volume on base shooting up for their perpetuals. It might be a play.
It definitely could be. One interesting... So is it a DEX, basically?
I don't know if... I think it has like markets you can trade perpetuals on. I don't know if that's exactly a DEX.
Okay, well, one of the interesting things that I've learned recently is part of the reason why you're seeing perpetuals become such a popular product is that marketplaces actually make more money on perps than a lot of the other products that happen. And one of the things that we've been talking about for a long time, Q, is how in this upcoming cycle, we're going to have a lot more infrastructure and tooling that is that sort of like gasoline, firepower, leverage, whatever, to really supercharge the bull market. And so this is the type of stuff that, like, if you're trying to understand, like, why would Bitcoin get to 250K, or why might you see a fucking 20x on, BitTensor or some of these products, like, why would we ever get to such extreme frothy heights as we saw back in like 2021, 2022? It's because more people are coming in and there's more tools and ways for them to speculate and gamble and take out leverage. Like, that's how you get these blow off tops, is like everybody and their mom starts to feel like God when things really start fucking ripping, and they start saying like, I'm all in. Let me take out fucking 30x leverage on 100 SOL, and let's go. Yeah.
All right, we'll watch the Quenta price charts here over the next week. That might again be an opportunity. Synthetics being a really big winner from that DeFi summer. Let's see if Kane's still got it. Looking at the just broader market again, we are kind of up and to the right a little bit. There's some chop going on. You can see there's not a lot that is green over the last 24 hours, but again, over the last 7 days, we are moving up to the right. Man, Aerodrome keeps ripping. We'll touch on that here in a second. I do want to hit briefly this Garga news as well. Excited to share that Dookie Dash Unclogged is going live in a few limited geographies this week for tech testing. This starts with Philippines over the next day. So this is kind of like hush hush. I feel like there's not a ton going on from like a event standpoint for Dookie Dash. If you guys remember, Dookie Dash was this huge like $1 million event. Everyone was get the keys. This is much more like a standard mobile rollout, in my opinion. Like, they're doing beta testing. They're rolling it out in regions. It doesn't look like your standard like, let's degen a lot and like, what is the floor price? This looks like they're trying to actually make an app and roll it out to different regions and see if they can stress test it. So I'm interested.
I'm sure I think it's a fair point. I'm sure they'll do some kind of activations around the public, launch. But yeah, will it be a very different strategy for this launch? Probably. I would just be shocked if they didn't do some kind of big activation.
I'm not gonna lie though, like the name in itself is I'm just looking at the name. It's actually sick branding with a little double entendre, because you look at it as Dookie Dash : Unclogged. Which is
Got him.
Yeah.
Good catch. Okay, so there's a couple other news across NFTs. We can take a look at floor prices maybe on the ETH front. I think some tokens are doing right, but really it's been a slow week. It's been almost like 7 days of We've seen some airdrops happen here. I know people were bull posting on. There was GM. Somebody school me in chat. GMSR or some type of token where people. It was very much like Portal, where people got tokens for shilling. I know Orenji was just coping so hard on his timeline over the last 24 hours that I guess his friends got 30 or 40K worth of this airdrop, and he did not participate. Much like the Portal stuff. If you didn't tweet about Portal, you're not getting it, is basically the idea. So let me try to find Orenji's.
Is that Soma? Is that what you're talking about?
The Somo is on Portal though, right?
Yeah. Well, so
It's
that's another
different.
big announcement worth pulling up, is that apparently the first big game partner for Portal is, of course, like a Pokemon-esque product. I haven't looked that deeply into it. I've just started to see everybody starting to talk about it.
All right, GMRX
and
is
blocks, right? Is another one that people are farming a lot. There's like 2 or 3.
if you're doing some of this farming, you're likely having a pretty active week. If you're making 50K in 2 weeks, farming the next, and he's saying I'm farming the next social airdrop no matter what. Biggie, do you know anything about GMRX? You seem to have been talking about like that.
Yeah, I saw it. I saw some people farming it. I didn't farm it myself. Damn it, I missed it. But I'm okay with it. I find that type of particular farming exhaustive and unappealing to me, and apparently even enough so as to miss out on 50K.
Yeah, well, that's why it's not going anywhere. So I know that everybody hates it. It stinks up the timeline and it's obnoxious as fuck. But also, there's a lot of people that are actually making legit dollars doing it. So it's not going to go anywhere. Like,
yeah, you kind of, it's one of those that's like deal with it or hop on the game. I think I did sign up for blocks and I did a couple of the things, but the minute they start asking to retweet and everything, it's like begrudgingly, sometimes I'll do it, but I always hit this wall where it's like enough, like, like I'm not here to be your fucking whore. So yeah, that's really what they're doing.
Even for 50K.
That's how I fucking see it.
I'll do whatever. I'll bend over backwards.
Yeah.
Give me some of that.
Everybody
50K.
has a price, Biggie.
Yeah, I'm extremely low on that price because I could take that 50K and throw it into something else and then lose it all, like DP was
immediately.
saying. All right, a couple other quick updates, man. I mean, we were covering this as it was taking off yesterday, but Aerodrome touched 160. I think it was like at 8. It was at like 90 cents on Sunday. And it was kind of ranging around $1, all that stuff. And then it just absolutely popped off. A lot of base tokens and price discovery that we've been talking about as well.
This might be one of your biggest winners, Q.
I'm hoping,
entire
man.
cycle.
I'm really hoping because I totally faded pretty much all of base when it came to placing some conviction. But yeah, they're reaching record highs on TVL. I'm certain that we'll see some Coinbase listing announcements from Coinbase here shortly. I think Aerodrome is one of the only base tokens right now that is actually listed on Coinbase. So I think more will come of that. I think it's also getting that pop based on that, right? Like it's,
I wonder what happens if DGen is listed on Coinbase. That could be fucking.
I wonder.
That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of these big meme coins that might get the Coinbase treatment, which is why I scaled out of them. I'm still in a few. Like I still think Blue and Riku have some upside right now in the short term. I think. So Brett is like the biggest and a winner. I wouldn't be surprised to see that one get listed. I'm trying to accumulate more Brett, but I've kind of like scaled out of some of my other positions for now, expecting there to be some kind of correction. But there's several of these big meme coins like Toshi, like Mochi, Normie. Like I want to just be holding some amount of any of these because all of them have a potential to get listed on Coinbase and fucking fly at some point. Not financial advice. That's just how I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, I did see, like, for example, DGen is about to give an airdrop, right? Again, so it'll be interesting to see how that token reacts there. that's probably the smarter move, right? Gift to scale out of them and then see. But then again, sometimes they just run away from you and they never come back down. So
that's the fear I have right now. But also, it's like this is where your conviction and just knowing your own risk tolerance has to come in, because otherwise, you keep following that sort of like FOMO, like what if I miss out? What if it keeps going? And you miss the opportunity to take profits, and then something happens and they fucking collapse. Like meme coins don't have much backing them up, and so they can turn on you so fucking fast.
Yeah,
you just have to be careful.
Also, like Degen is a very particular kind of non-meme coin, right? That has like is like very closely tied to these very to these apps that are growing tremendously right now at the moment.
I guess there's some utility that's happening there. I guess what you're saying.
Look at the Roar token right now.
Oh god,
this is literally
this is gonna hurt me. This is gonna hurt my soul.
Wow. Wow.
Look at that fucking candle, man.
Bro, you're hurting my soul.
Holy shit. Yeah, talk about hurting your soul. I missed the fucking airdrop because it was a goddamn claim.
Y'all, we were in on this
fucking Roar.
Y'all, we were in on this, calling this publicly on day one when it launched. Day one.
It's tough to miss. It's tough to miss. I'll say, let me make sure that I'm saying this clearly. You can clearly get fucked on base. There is a degen side of this. There are a lot of rugs.
A lot of rugs. Yeah.
If you choose the legit projects, hard to miss right now. Friend Pets up. Dino Poker's up.
We gotta pull up primitives and look at primitives real quick.
Yeah. Oh my god! Yeah, I saw that.
Because so all right, I'll say this again. This is the easiest alpha that you're gonna get all fucking week, right here, fam.
On that.
For primitives, go look on OpenSea. It should be a trending category, but like I'll find it if you can't find it. It's one of the top NFT collections trending on OpenSea right now. But it's just called primitives, and it's pixel art, cavemen.
It's like
basically.
Nakamigos.
Yeah, but look, here's there you go. Floor price is sitting just below 0.3 now. These fucking flew. You see that giant candle last night? That was on Jesse Pollock tweeting out that he bought one. So here it is. This also happened yesterday with Normie. Normie popped into Jesse Pollock, who is the creator, the sort of lead behind Base, Brian Armstrong's right-hand man. He popped into the Normie Telegram. Somebody screenshotted that he popped into the Telegram, and Normie fucking flew off of that. So what's happening right now is Jesse's being a great fucking leader, and he's engaging with the community, the NFTs, the projects in different ways, trying to immerse himself. And the projects that he's touching, they're all fucking flying. So just follow Jesse Pollock on X, and any project in Base that he's going to be tweeting about is going to have a pump right now. There you go. Easiest fucking alpha all week. You're welcome. So and the reason why I say that too is I saw him tweet out that he bought a primitive, ran over there. They'd already fucking 2x'd in like the first minute, and I still was able to pick up and flip too. So I made maybe like, I don't know. I don't know how much, but I made maybe couple thousand bucks just like that off of grabbing them and flipping them real quick. First NFT flips I've had in a minute. So Base NFTs are now having a thing, having a moment. Who would have thought? I actually flipped some fucking NFTs last night. It happened.
That's the on-chain dinos. I had the same experience, right? It was about Jesse tweeting about it. And this was way back before like this huge run up, but I bought they were like $5 each. So I just fucking, and these are their floor price of 0.13 now. So, it was off Jesse. It was like you saw him tweet and or retweet something, and sometimes it's that easy, man. Like you don't overthink this stuff. I don't know how long that meta lasts, right? Like clearly the longer that goes, the more it's going to get saturated, but there might be an opportunity.
But understand it is still early for Base. And so in these formative stages, like you look for like, what are those key signals in the entire ecosystem? And right now, and yeah, you're right. Maybe that only lasts a couple weeks. Maybe it lasts a couple months. But right now, where we're at in the Base narrative, this is one of the key signals is like who's getting the vote from the base devs. Bottom line.
All right, Johnny's saying wax Amazon partnership. Okay, I don't know if I don't know if I'll go.
Somebody's just
And
Squash.
on that note, I'm gonna go ahead and hop to my meeting that I gotta have. But man, it's
All right,
always
bro.
a pleasure. Good luck. Much love to the fam. Continue to tune in. I'll be back Thursday.
Good seeing you, D.
All right, bro.
Yes, sir. Good seeing you all.
See you, man.
See.
See, you scared him away with the wax talk, man. Easy and Crypto saying I miss so much that I almost just want to stay out. I think Gift's right. You're definitely like early-ish on base right now. There might be a pullback or a local top, but I think overall still early times. It's going to be a fun summer. Squashman saying just went to the OpenSea homepage and Coachella has a drop on here on AVAX. Only 38 minted though.
Oof.
Yeah.
I did see that. It's literally like front page of OpenSea, and they can't even sell any. Like, dude, this is NFTs are just such a tough market still. I'm actually shocked I was able to get out of the 2 that I bought when they were already like ripping of those primitives last night. Look,
well, NFTs on base are a totally different thing. You know, it really is. It's
some of them. There's only a few, but yes, I suppose.
It's
the narrative.
Based fellas, on-chain diamonds ran to 0.2 last night. Like,
yeah. So you're right. The one thing I wanted to throw in here too, you mentioned it's going to be a fun summer. They're already plotting a rerun of on-chain summer. So
yep.
I think you're right, and that there's going to be a large activation and push around on-chain summer on base again. Mm-hmm. So again, to me, it's about figuring out what I think are the winners and trying to consolidate, look for dips and pick up and position myself ahead of the halving, because then I think it's going to be, or even through the next, month or two, because it's going to be very volatile. So I'm trying to be careful, but again, it's like identifying what I think are the long-term winners so I can consolidate more there.
My sneaking suspicion about these on-chain summer assets also is that if there were to be a base token and you were to reward people, for some reason, I have this sneaking suspicion that these assets would get you a multiple. And I'm not, again, NFA, DYOR, this is not why you should get these things, but sometimes DGen speculate this way. And I think this is one of those cases where I think going back, you'll be like, it's going to be one of those requirements, or maybe not a requirement, but one of these things that will get you a boost if you were to get a token. NFA, DYOR, we'll see. Just postulating out there.
I mean, if there was a token, I think you're absolutely right. I've just kind of fully shifted my position on it, where I now realize the virtue and the value of them never having to fuck with a token, and just focusing on the utility and like the quality of what's there. So trust me, Biggie, the reason I was all in is because I was like, oh, it clearly would make them a ton of money. It would make people like us who have been early a ton of money. Like,
that's my argument, right? Like, I agree with what you're saying, especially in the current environment. 100%, I think you're spot on. Having said that, though, if you were to hand the SEC its own ass and say, be on your way, sir, those profits are fucking juicy, man. Like, I don't know if your value will matter than that much, right? Like, and I think it could also be, I think, a lot more useful. Like, I mean, obviously at the moment, yes, I think it's a burden you don't want, that don't need, and it's a boon for base. But I don't know. I have this sneaking suspicion. It's the degen in me. Something in the wind is whispering sweet nothings in my ear. And so, actually, on that note, because I did share it on the Huda channel the other day, but we didn't bring it up over here. But I don't know if you're familiar with this GIF, but there's actually businesses out there. Come on, let me fucking highlight this thing. Jesus, my computer is like dying on me today. Anyway, there's businesses already out there that are like farming as a service, right? Here's one. Oh, God. Did not copy. Sorry, people. I wonder if this is part of like that Macintosh. Dude, that Apple chip thing has me scared shitless. You know, the hack on like the vulnerability they found on M1 chips. I don't know if you saw that.
Oh,
Or if
Jesus.
you're using Apple.
Shout out Cam Taylor. Shout out Squash, man. Easy, Johnny. All y'all hanging out with us, getting lit in the comments.
So this is something I found. I'm not endorsing it, folks. I have not used it. This is not me endorsing it. NFA, DYOR, blah, 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 blah. This is a farming as a service product that I recently found. It's pretty interesting. It's Sybil resistant. It helps you, as you can see, farm not just base, potentially base, but Solana, Linea, and Scroll. Basically, the way it works is kind of like Photon. You create your own custodied wallets for which you keep your seeds in, and then you deposit a certain amount of funds with which a bot does transactions sporadically or in a way that they are not detected by bot spotters or stuff like that, and potentially creates trading volume on your behalf that if there is a token or a reward down the line for these things, you are eligible for.
This is fucking dope. I'm definitely gonna try and
choose it. It already knows what applications, or you have to point it
that's
towards.
what I need to go down the rabbit hole and research a little more on, like if transactions in, and also like how it ensures that you don't like completely lose your funds immediately, right? Like there's a suggested amount for a certain amount of time. If you run out of funds, it'll tell you, and you can deposit and keep on doing it, and you can select the amount of months and stuff that you'd like to do this for, right? Like
Biggie, you got to start getting on this referral game, dog. I know you're you're experienced, dude. We're sharing it right now. I should have your referral code in hand.
Yeah, I know. I'm generous like that. What can I say to you? Generational wealth slipping through my hands. I mean, I'm still, to be honest, like for my takes, very interesting, really cool. I still want to research it more. I want to see if there's competition. I want to see who's behind it. There's a lot of questions that I think you should be asking before just fucking aping into this thing, right? Like I feel like it's also pretty easy to all of a sudden, boom, disappear with your money, or ooh, vulnerability happened, or ooh, you lost your keys. God freaking knows, right? Like you could just be throwing money away if Base never launches a token. I'm not trying to FUD the project. I'm just saying, ask tough questions. Get in the fucking Discord. That's what I'm doing right now, and I'm researching these things. And I think, like, I mean, the use. I mean, I don't think it'll prove itself out, obviously, with the first airdrop, right? Until then, we're all just experimenting here, and might be just,
that's fair,
having something else to do. But check it out. Yeah, check it out. And yes, I will.
Right.
I will from now on focus on the referral code thing. You're right. It's fucking annoying.
I mean, I know we had that combo too. It's like,
yeah. You're right. You're
all
totally right.
All right, Crypto Slam with the shout out here. The NFT Live crew is on now, taking you deep into all of the biggest stories in Web3 today. They're talking Base, KuCoin, Dookie Dash, primitives, and more. Check out the Slam Vision fam now. Big shout out, Crypto Slam. Huda, we see you.
Yes,
Huda.
Also,
I'm gonna start calling Marty McFly Mr. Black and White, because there's just like he doesn't live in a world of nuance. It's just all in or all out. You can't hold any sort of sophisticated, nuanced thought about anything. You either like or you either love or you hate everything, and you're either wrong or right about everything. There's no gray in this world. It is all binary, zeros and ones.
I need a not Biggie, BitBoy level UFC match. Here we go. I need a BitBoy level UFC match.
We need to ring the bell. Marty needs to come on the show one day instead of just throwing tomatoes at us from the sidelines.
Do y'all remember ETH NFTs?
No.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to bring you back a little bit. Still a ton of volume. 783 ETH volume here on Pudgy Penguins, up 27% on the week. Bored Ape Yacht Club sitting about half that volume, around 13.6. So there's a continuous flippering happening between these. Azuki actually popped up over the last day. It's up 40% on the week. Miladies are also up. Captains are down. Little Pudgies are up. DeGods are up. I mean, we're at least seeing some level of support here for the ETH NFT ecosystem. Parallel avatars clearly are some of the top performers that we've seen. Some on the gaming side is NFT price floors holding on ETH. Some are just gaming related. So just wanted to shout that out. Awesome to see some green on this side and some support there, and we'll continue throughout the episode. I do have a little bit of drama where we're passing 400 here, watching us live. So appreciate you guys tuning in and tuning out either on X or YouTube. You guys are much appreciated. And also if you're live or afterwards, OVOT. Real quick, leave a like, a heart, however you best support us. All right, let's cover this Kamigami situation pretty quickly here. This mint was, I would say, one of the from what they were showing, right? And if you're not familiar, I'll jump in really quick. You can see some SEI IP being shown off in basically this gaming environment, right? So you have cappies, you've got
that is the cappies. I love cappies for the meme aspect of how fucking ridiculous they are. Like,
yeah, they got
Dude,
a wide hitbox.
There, though. They're supposed to be cute. You're supposed to be getting like lit up by a cute.
You're creepy.
All right, there was
and cute.
Like the inbred cappy in there, like with no fur. What the fuck?
To be fair, you've been pushing this like tractor trailer or like truck stop cappy.
I have not. There are such.
I remember
it. World. You're the one that was like poo-pooing them. I embraced them.
All right, you can see there's a 5-on-5 third-person shooter that these guys were creating. I heavily think that this was created. This is not something they sprung out in the last month, right? They're either using templated, like, how can I say this without getting too far in the weeds?
Source, like
they're using open source, like you see with this with Unreal Engine 5, right? Like the teams themselves are not going in and creating those environments. They're inputting their IP. Yeah. They're inputting a lot of stuff. I think that's what's happening here a little bit. But that being said, this is one of the more high-quality offerings that you've seen in the SEI ecosystem to date. And everyone was kind of looking out and seeing at what would happen. It was an easy prediction. Like, again, if you've been in the SEI ecosystem, 6,666 was not going to mint out for 40 SEI. They ended up cutting the mint to 1,666, about half minted. Me and Biggie Poppins participated in this just to show our support, right, to the eco. But I have to bring that Kamigami mint up because it was one of the more, quote-unquote, hyped in the ecosystem. I don't think we're really seeing massive quality right now, but yeah.
Who could have seen it coming? I ask sarcastically. Who could have guessed that this wouldn't mint out? I wonder sardonically out loud.
Yeah, it didn't seem like they were tapped in there. It's unfortunate because it's I don't want to call it a black eye, but it's like we could use some W's. Like we all know where the puck is going to head. I've shown you the transactional history on both Bitcoin ordinals and base. This is the life cycle of a lot of this stuff. Initial interest, a slow kind of like I don't even call. I think apathy is probably the right term, right? It's like we got to look at Solana or we got to look at ordinals. And then everything blows up on base. Like this is how this shit works. But I would like to see a team not come in here and give us a quick little thorn in our side, if I'm going to continue using that term, because it was easily avoidable, right? Like this didn't need to happen. All of us were saying, hey, this is a train wreck that is about to literally happen tomorrow. We're still going to support it because YOLO, but it's not going to mint out. And like very easily could have not happened.
And potentially other builders in the space are going to look at that
exactly
and say, maybe not here.
Yep. Somebody did. There was another project called The Other Side. You remember seeing those comic book characters with the yellow background? Flips with, I think it was Mills that was tweeting about them. And then they just said, no, we're going to build on ordinals. We're doing our mint on ordinals.
Neighbors, right? Or
neighbors,
something
neighbors, not Other Side.
Yeah. Neighbors. Yeah, man, it's unfortunate, but I don't know, you do reap what you sow, right? And I think we do have, I think, a very passionate community over on SEI. I'm very bullish on it, but we do need to push back on this free mint mental midgetry thought process that like there's a small cohort of people over there that insist in like only free mints, which is stupid.
Yeah. 100%. That was the project. Yeah, Neighbor is the project that is now toting their Bitcoin drop imminently. So you can't even really blame them. I mean, if you're talking about timing,
that's where the liquidity is right
Yeah.
now. That's where the attention is. So that's where you go.
Yeah.
And I think for in this particular case, right, like there's supposed to be like a meme kind of IP play, like content play.
Yep.
And so, I imagine like infra wise, like it wasn't such a big thing for them to decide to just go over to ordinals,
Yep. Yeah, 100%. I mean, I had to cover that one, so that's another tough one. We need a W or two over here on SEI. I'm still placing my bets accordingly, and in 3 months we're gonna look back in this. It's as close to a guarantee as I can get. Again, do not use this as financial advice and all that stuff, but like it's gonna seem
obvious.
It's just gonna.
In retrospect,
I don't know how else to tell you all this. This is like literally how the playbook. We've seen it over and over and over again. Once the puck moves and liquidity comes, it's like I should have bought Dobb at 300. It's sitting at 3,000 right now. It's like, well, yeah, you probably should.
I hope you're right. It all comes down to V2, and that's what Q's talking about, is that we're expecting, say, V2 to happen soonish.
GIF, yeah, because I see you a little more hesitation.
Well, here's the thing: is I'm just trying to not fully drink the Kool-Aid. I've been drinking it with y'all this whole time. I'm actually pretty heavily invested in SEI.
But I feel like you're still drinking the Kool-Aid of that euphoric month that we had. That's the issue that I'm seeing here. It's like you were hot and heavy with it when it was hot and heavy. You have to. This is called conviction, is what I'm trying.
I have conviction, and that's why I'm letting my shit sit there, bro. I'm just not trying to say that it's a guaranteed thing, but I'm obviously following this bet. I'm with y'all. I'm just also trying to not just like. I'm just not trying to over-psych myself up with like expectations.
I think if we didn't have a Say What show and we weren't in Say, you would have been like, I'm out of here. That's my general feeling.
No, I probably would have kept some. I might not be as convicted as I am. But the thing is, like, there's a lot of cool parts of that community. Like, I love Dobbs, dude. I've still got like 6 or 7 Dobbs, bro. Yeah. I've got multiple Saiyans. I've got a bunch of Millie. I've got a bunch of Saiyan and a bunch of other NFTs. I got Cat. Like, dude, I've got probably like, I don't even want to say how much I've got invested in that chain right now. So like, trust me, I have conviction. I realize that what it's coming down to is a really solid launch of V2. And what worries me is that if anything goes wrong, they're in a tough spot, because Monad is hot on their heels and has, it seems like, a lot of the partnerships and like interests already figured out. So like, that's it, man. I'm just saying that there's risks out there too. Don't fucking tie me up or whatever you're saying is about by my.
I just think that, like the definition of conviction is like in the tough times, like being like, this is going to work. Like,
and I think convictions are a range. Again, I don't understand what's with this binary mentality, y'all. Everything exists on a spectrum. Well, I can be 70% convicted on something and not be 100% convicted.
I think what Biggie was mentioning, right, is that like he's and I was feeling the same way. So now you have 2 people up here that are saying like, you don't seem that, like, you seem like something's up.
I have questions.
No, I asked him because I genuinely wanted to get his take, because I think it is important to get like different people's feels and sentiments, right? Like, we do run a show, we're passionate about the chain, and so it's a good way to, take that's a good one, Cam. Like, I think like take stock, right? Like, of the current meta or the situation. I do see certain things that concern me a little bit in this, say, ecosystem. One of them being that like what I think GIF is trying to point at, and that is that everybody seems to agree that a lot, if not everything, hinges on the V2 launch, and like that being successful and performing well, right? But what that's not the part that concerns me. Like, leave that to the team that is pretty stacked and is able and capable of delivering on said infra, right? Like, they've been doing that. That's who I put my conviction and trust in, and I think they can deliver that. The part that concerns me a little more is the people in the ecosystem, the general culture there. And what I do see is a lot of people, a lot of teams, a lot of projects sitting there doing, I don't want to say nothing, but waiting on this V2 thing. you know. And in my opinion, like these are the moments where you want to be creative, where you want to be building and quietly getting your product ready to shine once V2 launches. Don't get me wrong, there's definitely some projects out there that are doing exactly that. But I do see a lot of other people just mentioning V2 and as if that's going to solve all their issues, all their problems. If your fucking project is in a shitty floor price right now and you don't like it, that's on you. You like you know, it's not just the teams, but it's also on the community, you know, like coming up with different things, right? Like and like remaining creative, keep cooking, keep delivering.
I think Biggie's,
you know, like when I'm being part of the NYC makes me even more bullish because I see that there are teams that are capable that didn't even come out with that intention in mind originally, and it was just a group of folks coming together to build shit and like get cool stuff out there, right? So, you know, I think we're going to have the tools. I think we're going to have the speed, the low fees, the backwards compatibility. A lot of these things I think will play in favor of SEI. But the part where I'm kind of like starting to feel like, man, I maybe we need to like start shoulder checking some of these people or stuff like that is like these things, right? Like these comments, these insistences on free fucking mint, right? Like everything should be free. Also, I was like leaving everything up to V2 and the team to do, right? Like I don't know, like those things we need to like work on and make better, and that's all.
I agree. I agree with everything Biggie just said. Bottom line, I just don't believe that you have to be a maximalist about everything. That's it.
Oh yeah.
I love SEI. Look, I want to shout out a couple people. I think Ray, is it Roy? It's Ray from Dobbs.
Roy,
like,
yeah.
So okay, Dobbs and that team, fucking amazing. I think Outlines keep showing up, doing fucking cool shit. I think Saiyans are still there. I don't know about the marketplace, how that's going, but Saiyans are a really fucking legit team. Like there's a couple amazing fucking teams and there's really cool people. And also, you know, I haven't seen enough to be a full on. Yeah, I'm not a maximalist.
You don't have to be a maximalist. We're getting a little tied up. I think we're on the same wavelength. When I look at something like this, right? So this is Aerodrome continuously going up. Like this period, this is December.
That's where we're at right now.
This is this is where MFers will come in and say, I think there's something up with Coinbase. I just don't think that they're putting it behind the full product. Like this is that area. That's what
I have more than a moon bag
on blast right now, right? Like I feel like that sentiment I feel is a little bit on blast right now. And that's where I'm just like, okay, now let's go look for these teams and let's go look for these communities. Let's go look for these people that have been there and that are like not shaking and are continuing to build and deliver and all that. Heck yes. I agree with you, Q.
Yeah, I totally get where you're coming from, GIF. I'm just trying to formulate the exact wording for this. Like when it's tough, when it's fucking tough, right?
That is kind of tough.
It's tough when on SEI. That right there is probably when you want to fucking lean in. And this is just what I know I get it. I'm just saying, like when you're having these thoughts of like, you know, there's some questions, of course, but that's the time where it's leaning in. I get you have assets. I get you're leaning in. I do feel like a lot of that is because we're on SEI pretty fucking heavily.
I just bought and staked FUD Foxes like in the last day.
I know. I get it.
I'm just saying, like I am there. I'm participating, but I'm also trying to voice, you know, my concerns.
I would have just liked to see the base love when it's not doing well, and then the SEI like kind of trepidation in the middle of the euphoria. That to me feels more organic than hyping up base when everything's pumped. You know, and it's starting in its run and kind of flooding on SEI.
We've been talking about base for months, though. Like I didn't jump on the base bandwagon, Q.
Not the big bandwagon, the smaller one. I was by myself in November and December.
You weren't. I bought Roar. I bought Mysticals. I bought Sweepers.
There was no Roar
but I just mean
December.
Like. But all these projects, I was buying in with you, dude.
That's January. That's like late Jan.
All right. Either way, where are we now? Almost April.
We're in middle of March.
But I don't get this. What's the issue here? Because like we were
I don't
way
either.
back before then with on-chain summer, right? Like
it's the conviction.
I was
piece that
buying
I'm
on-chain
getting at.
summer
That's what I'm
too.
saying. It feels like we're high. Like it doesn't feel like when I was on NFT Live in December. I can roll back the tape. I was the only one talking about it, and it's called conviction, and that's all I'm saying. That's what it feels like to me. So that's what it comes off from my angle. Is when things are not doing that well on Say, it's like there's some questions. Well, it's just wait a month.
Well, and not only that, I agree also with you there that it's like that's when you get great sales, right? Like I've been able to pick up some assets at like crazy fucking prices.
Dude,
you know?
if I hadn't already dumped a shit ton of my liquidity into Say and already locked it in on the projects I was bullish on, I'd be buying the fuck out of a bunch more stuff right now. But I'm already committed to a bunch of stuff over there.
Well,
like I would be buying the fuck
yeah.
out of Millie and saying at these prices, bro.
It didn't. Okay.
Yeah.
It feels a little bit like you. I don't know if I would hold those feelings and then buy the assets of that eco. If I was feeling like, oh, there's like shit going on here that I don't think is gonna do well long term. And I agree with you, Biggie. Like the V2 stuff, if you're banking on it, that is probably not a good look. Like I'm sure it'll be great. I'm sure it'll be awesome. Like we'll see. But if you're like putting all of that in eggs into those baskets, then it's like,
well, and to be clear, right? Like in that regard, we're talking about the projects there, right? Like the NFTs or the assets that you hold that represent that project, like, right? Because that's not necessarily going to hinder Say itself, the token, right? If you do get the great fees and transaction speeds and all of that, it'll just be your fucking project that doesn't really move that well because you were just banking on that and not doing anything during this freaking time, right? Like that's what I was like trying to talk about. But yeah, I'm still highly convicted with saying I do agree that like a healthy approach to these things is always to have like allocations in these different ecosystems, and there is such a thing as spreading yourself too thin. It depends on your capacity to try to like keep your eye on the ball in these different ecosystems. I mean, I still have bags from the last cycle that I'm still keeping track on, and that I still feel like sort of bullish on, right? Like that I think can perform well right now, and it's on me to keep tabs on that shit, right? It's just at some point like you do hit a wall, and like sometimes it's financial, sometimes it's just bandwidth and keeping up with all of this stuff. But you know, I do think like you want to have like a nice basket of the things that you're most convicted in. And I think
probably got
a solid one. I think Blast, Base, you know, Solana, obviously Ethereum, Bitcoin, like pretty solid bets, I think, for this cycle. Like the narrative's there.
I've probably got 10 to 15% of my entire portfolio in Say. So just in case anybody's wondering, do I have any conviction on it? There you go. Take that for what it's worth.
Not
yeah.
Want. I sold that shit. I didn't keep any.
I probably have some wax shit going on. We'll see. All right, so stop fighting. What? Stop fighting over nothing. Yeah, this was a total fight. Yeah,
the name of the show.
Yeah, we're getting after it up here, guys. That was it. Marty McFly saying Blur sucks. Blast is cool though. I haven't seen Marty post much about Blast.
Let's get into Blast. What are you guys looking at over on Blast?
I'm just hoping Finger takes me to Valhalla. That's basically all I've got. I don't even have Andy anymore.
I rotated my Wazi pump bags to Pack Moon yesterday, and yeah, like I just feel like that one's got like a lot of things are coming to it. Plus, I probably get thruster points for playing around with that thing too. I am one of the ones that I'm bullish on, and obviously is because I got like preferential treatment when it launched, is Mintify. I don't know if any of you guys are using Mintify. Yeah. If you're even playing the NFT game over on Blast, I'm not. I have like 2 or 3 collections that I was like cool on, and I'm staking, and hopefully they get good rewards on. Like so far, so good. But Yeah, I like Mintify. They dropped their keys. They're obviously going to be getting. I think that's what I'm bullish about. Like, I feel like it's an NFT protocol, but it's maybe still qualifies for DeFi or platform rewards. So it's not like going to be negated one or the other allocation in that regard. Builders are really cool. I do use Mintify on other platforms as well. And so, yeah, that's one I've been chilling with. And, with the DeFi stuff, that's the part where I've yet to really, I need to dive deep into like the farming strategies and stuff and come up with something that I'm comfortable with. Because that's stuff other than MetaStreet, right? Which was
any of these NFTs dropped any airdrops or had collaborations like, hey, we're getting a little bit of Pac Moon? Do we see that meta on Base at all or a Blast?
I think
meta
it's
of holding an
probably-
NFT and getting like meme coins.
An airdrop. Okay.
I
There's one that's coming up that's like called Oh No, I think, or is that on Base? You saw that?
I don't know if we've seen a lot of that yet because the NFTs are very nascent, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's the type of stuff that you do start to see as it heats up. The sort of airdrop meta in general is I think going to continue through most of this cycle. Juan Millie saying Blast is trash. Tell me that you got rugged without telling me that you got rugged, bro. Sorry to hear that. But yeah, you already pulled up a couple of the ones that I think are probably going to win. It looks like Pac Moon's going to be a winner. I think Andy and Mia, the dog, are probably going to be winners. I don't know about the Blast Pepe and Blast Inu. I kind of faded those after they wrecked me. And then Finger Blast, I think, is one of those that's a interesting meme for the ecosystem that will probably like have a moment again. So maybe it does take you to Valhalla, but I haven't been paying as close attention to that one. The only NFTs I have are the rocks. I have Blast Rocks, which are, I think, like the first on-chain NFT. But yeah, they're down bad from where I bought them. Who knows?
You got to wait for Christie's to do an auction.
Dude, the risk-free rate on Blast is too high for most of this stuff to pick up. So again, the strategy should be, what are the things that I think will moon after the airdrop? Because then a lot of that liquidity will rush into what people think are the winning projects. But right now, the risk-free rate of just sitting over there or staking is really fucking high.
But yeah, I have this problem here with Ape, right? Because I'm staking Ape. I've amassed a pretty big bag of Ape, so I'm getting some per day. But I still don't think that outpaces the like a potential like 2x or 3x. Like how could staking outpace the opportunity cost of like a meme coin going 2x? Because isn't it like you're getting like 12% to 20%?
It's the risk. So again,
okay.
it's not that you're looking at like, oh, well, this thing guarantees me 15%, and a meme coin guarantees me 1,000. No, a meme coin can wreck you.
Yeah, it's the same thing I'm dealing with Ape. I'm like, I want to maybe rotate this bag into like something like Ron, but I'm not getting a percentage daily.
You have a risk-free 15% if you just hold their stable coin. It's USDB or whatever. If you just hold their stable coin, you get 15% risk-free.
Well, not totally risk-free, assuming no smart contract risk and no exploits and all kinds of bullshit, right? But yes, I get what you mean, Gif. But the opportunity cost, I mean, I that's where I'm stuck too, where it's like, God, man, like if there was a clear like culture play or win, which I'm still looking for. Like I think Primitives kind of look like it, but it's like two Nakamigos for me. But I'm like, with these two ecosystems, if there's like a clear player where I'm like, oh, these are gonna perdure beyond that. I like that play. The other
speaking of culture play, we didn't even touch on this yesterday. We should, although we had DP in earlier, we didn't have our full five. Mm-hmm. I think, Gif, were you the one that took the over on this with me? On Nick?
I said I wasn't sure because of I think I said over. I took the contrarian view.
That's right.
I don't remember.
Then I don't remember. The over.
What happened to the nose? Is it up?
It's up. It's up 2x, baby. Everybody was calling for Nick to be completely wrecked.
The nose has legs, bro.
I think it was at 4 million.
Dude.
4 or 5. Look, I think it was 5.
Wow, dude, this chart's only gonna look better and better, fellas. It's only like it's literally following. This is what we drew the other day, and it's literally following to a T, guys. Check that out.
Jesus.
We're going straight up, dude. Look at that.
Look,
It'll go backwards, but it is following that upward trajectory. Look at that.
Marty says that he comes here for my bad calls, but I'd love to know how many good ones that he just ignores. I've been saying the nose has legs for obvious reasons. He's literally a walking meme. Understand what has happened. Choose Rich Nick has turned himself into a meme at the beginning of a bull run, and his face with that giant nose is going to be fucking everywhere.
Giant
so again,
flaccid nose.
Barring
Flaccid.
barring something happening like him completely disowning this thing.
Yeah. Okay. So again, still in our range of either Valhalla or zero on this chart. But again, we were here last Friday and we said, look, Nick is at 4 million market cap. Are you taking the over or under by Monday of next week? And it's a clear over. So I don't know. We get rep on the street for that. What do we get? What are you paying?
Like,
I don't even care, dude.
Oh shit!
The Biao
fan didn't even buy it.
The lost Biao.
They were like locked.
You can probably buy the whole collection right now, for 0.000001.
Every time he's dropping a video, it's pumping.
Yeah. I think
it's y'all left curve some of this shit. Come on, stop being mid curve.
I think
that's it.
I think 4 million is probably a really good range for this token, as long as like Gift saying nothing crazy happens. It shot up. Wow, holy shit! This shot up to like 20 mil over the weekend. Yeah, should have played it. Add it to the list. All right, we're getting out of here. Now we're in 10 minutes. No Huda today. We'll have him tomorrow. Mm-hmm. I can almost guarantee it. I'm not going to promise, but 99% chance that he's
Wookiee Wizard of Oz.
But yeah, appreciate y'all joining through. We hit 540 here on the show today, so appreciate y'all.
How accurate is that? Like, I don't understand how that. Like, is it like people logging on or back in, or is like we actually have 500 people looking at us?
It's Twitter. It's mostly just when it gets shared on Twitter and enough people watch it, and some of them just stay for a minute or two. It's like whatever its tracking metric is, it has some kind of barrier, and I think it's just if you watch it for like 30 seconds. I don't know exactly, but it's something like that. So some of those people aren't with us all the time. Sometimes there's a bunch of people watching over there concurrently. Either way, we thank all of you who stopped by and hope that you will like, subscribe, come back tomorrow. Bitcoin Puppets for World Peace. The Fallen drops Friday. Ordinals, Bitcoin Puppets, The Fallen, Oni Forest drops Friday. Have to mention that. Shout out to the Oni fam. I'm very excited about that mint and OVOT. That's all I got.
It'd be like a mint party. What time is that? Like if it's around the show.
Yeah, I don't know the time, but I'm probably going to be waking up early.
Quantum Variant saying we on YouTube are here the whole damn show. OVOT. Yeah, I said we see you guys. We love you guys for it, man. And you're here for oftentimes for multiple shows. I mean, all the way through. Some people just watch all three of them. So I appreciate.
And now,
honestly,
there's 4. If you really want to see the Wookiee Wizard of Oz, Huda, you can tune in about an hour and a half from now, and I'll be up there with them too, talking shit.
Right. I'll give some love to that. It's not necessarily part of the Web3 network, but I'll give it. That's a little bit of a reach, but I'll give it to you.
True.
Biggie Poppins is here.
But cross-pollination thing.
A lot of OVOTs popping off here late. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll continue to track the market. Looks okay as we end here on a Tuesday, but hopefully we get some consistent green days. Any last thoughts here before we head out? Somebody send us out with the verb.
I wish he was here for that. Do it.
Reverb or true.